Priestess. So there's a lot happening on a cosmological scale right now. It's a half moon in Leo currently, and then we have Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Chiron all in retrograde. We have Pluto moving into Aquarius, or no, Pluto just moved into Aquarius, right? And this is the first time in 200 years. So we're going to be in this energy for the next 20 years. And so going from Pluto being in Capricorn to Aquarius, the last time this happened was the French Revolutionary War, wait, I think I'm mixing it up. We had the Revolutionary War and the French Revolution. We had a lot of big, large scale things happening, right? We noticed a return to power to the people, kind of balancing the scales in that aspect, whereas, the government had less control, less power. People were really standing up for themselves and all that. So we can expect very similar energy on a global scale, where there could be some uprisings, there could be empires falling. Aquarius is very humanitarian energy, right? It's all about power to the people, and Pluto is very rebellious and mischievous energy, right? This is Hades, but on that note, Hades is also the disciplinarian, right? The one who disciplines evil, right? I mean, as the lord of the underworld, right? So let's see kind of what this energy means for you in your personal life, and what we can do to help navigate you forward. So let's see. Oh, and if you guys haven't met my cat yet, this is 3 Clicks. I tried to name her Lucy, but I just could not call her by a name. I just would go, and so now she's 3 Clicks. That is her name. It's all she responds to. It is what it is. So yes. She didn't like any other name I tried to give her. So anyway, back to the reading. Let's see who you are, what your energy is like. Oh yes, another thing, Mercury is going retrograde in a couple days. So people from the past might be popping up. You might feel the urge to cut your hair. I recommend not doing that. I did that the last time Mercury was in retrograde, and big regrets. I was not prepared for what I did. So yeah, really think through certain things, right? Really think through taking back that ex. Really decide, what is best for you moving forward, rather than, be more on the logical side, logic and reasoning side of things, rather than the emotional side, right? Don't let your emotions run the ship right now, because they'll try. Yes, we have Ouroboros, right? The energy of Ragnarok, the snake eating itself. This is all about infinity, eternity, and past lives, right? And so understanding that energy is neither created nor destroyed, it is transferred. And this really gives us a scientific basis for reincarnation. Um, and more than that, I feel that you could be getting in touch with, past life soul connections. You could be having dreams or visions or things that really connect you to who you were in a past life, or the kind of life that you led in a past life. Right? This could be recurring cycles. The best way to kind of figure out who's who is to look at their lives, right? Like, I am dead certain that Lana Del Rey was Jim Morrison, and you can really see this through, like, the way that her life is living out now, karmic debts that have been paid off in this life, and kind of what they're forced to live out, but yeah, anyway, sorry, my kitty wants to play. Yeah, so more than that though, it looks like she's like kind of incubating in this egg, gestating. I don't know. But yeah, so she's got this umbilical cord around her, and there's growth happening, right? Inside the Ouroboros, the snake eating itself. And so this is kind of growing through chaos, growing through trauma. This is character building. This is development of self, And so, let's see. 3 clicks is not going to let us read today. She tried this yesterday. I'm not going to allow it. Anyway. We have Pleiadians, unconditional love, happiness, excitement, laughter. I do love this. This is getting back in touch with your inner child. Also, I see this as a warning. The Mercury going retrograde, all these other planets in retrograde. I do see this as a warning to not allow your emotions to run the show, to be logical, to consider why did things end before, right? Because unconditional love is often translated to unconditional tolerance, right? Which I hate. I hate that we translate it that way, because it's just not really what unconditional love should be, right? Because we should have unconditional love for ourselves, and when we do, we set strong boundaries. We don't tolerate certain behaviors. We don't allow ourselves to be a prey to the predators, if you will, So, it's okay to love people. It's okay to let go of people in the energy of love. But it's also not okay to let yourself go through the same kind of hardships, the same kind of things over and over and over and over, right? We have Starseed. This is self, memories, identity, right? This is really, and to me, this really connects to that Ouroboros, that past life energy. Being a starseed is kind of that energy of being in this world, but not of this world, and tapping into your purpose here, right? If you're not from this world, but you're in this world, that indicates the sense of purpose. There's a reason you're here, right? And if you know anything about starseeds, light workers, all that, then you understand that your purpose here is growth, right? It's like you were planted here to help others grow, to help people get in touch with their inner being, who they are. And this is also tapping into your own identity. There could be a big identity shifting that happens as Pluto enters Aquarius, right? Where the self that we have identified with thus far may not be the self that we continue living as, right? And it's like having a reincarnation while you're still alive, right? It's like shifting your focus, shifting your being into who you want to be rather than who you've just simply been, right? Then we have mantis beings. This is enigma, elusive, and sensitive, right? This is also the energy of the runner, right? Somebody who perhaps runs from challenges. This could be you, could be who you're dealing with, but there's definitely this energy of like, now you see me, and now you don't. Now I'm in your life, and now I'm fucking gone. You know? So, if this is you, you know, like, I think that allowing yourself that enigmatic energy it's kind of a survival tactic, right? It's like not wanting to stick around and let certain things play out entirely, which leaves a lot of unfinished business with soul ties, which means that they come back around and then you have to deal with certain things. And it's almost like better to just deal with the situations at hand while they're at hand rather than running away, coming back, or running away, coming back, and waiting until you're comfortable, right? Or ready to handle certain situations. You're never going to be fully ready. So always being in that energy of like, oh, I'm just going to wait until I'm ready for this. You're never going to be ready. Your work's never going to be done there if you are constantly running away and waiting until you're ready. So it's kind of like buck up and get it done. I feel that there's a lot of there's also this energy that, like, you know, you have these natural talents, these hobbies, these things that you're really good at, but then you prioritize a day job over that, right? Over your natural talents, over your hobbies, all that. And that's really putting your own sense of purpose on the back burner. Which you should not do. You know, your purpose should come first, and the paycheck is inevitable, right? And I mean, that's not to say don't prioritize work. Obviously, bills gotta get paid. However, it's not, it's not allowing yourself to be so overworked that you don't take care of those things, that you don't pick up the paintbrush, that you don't start typing away your book, or, you know, that you don't do the things that you know inherently you're set out to do, and that will actually make your life a lot easier once you dive into it, right? You could, you know, I feel that a lot of the times our natural talents or the things that we're naturally drawn to say a lot about what we're here to accomplish, right? And when you do that, when you dive into that, then, you know, you can make a living off of that, off of your natural talents and purpose, right? You can not feel like you're stuck in that 9-to-5 dead-end job, you know, and, you know, because that should be a big priority for you, to accomplish that sense of soul purpose, to accomplish the things that brings you joy and fulfillment, sense of purpose. All right. So, every time I pull out my altar cloth, it's like I summon this cat. She's like, wait a minute. This is my spot. It's kind of funny. I've summoned a guardian from the depths. And she's just a baby. Alright. At least she thinks so. Okay, so let's see what else you need to hear. Let's dive deeper into your storyline and see what is unfolding for you. Yeah, like I said, Page of Cups. You've got people coming in, perhaps trying to make some kind of offer here. This is an offer of the heart. This is like somebody, but it feels like it feels like this is something that you've already let go of, and I'll tell you why in a second. But it's kind of like, I mean, like I said, with that Mercury retrograde, we've got people coming in. They have a couple of different offers, right? We've got the Page of Wands, Page of Cups. One is showing up out of love, one is showing up out of lust. However, they're both just pages, right? So these are messengers. These are kind of non-committal energy. This isn't like an emperor or empress. This isn't like a king or a queen. This is somebody who is still very like in that energy of looking at their options, and kind of they could be extending options or offers in different areas, you know. Pages are messengers, so they could be sending you a message via social media or whatever. But yeah, one, it's like coming from the energy of lust or inspiration, passion, right? And one is showing up genuinely looking at like the potential that they could have with you, the kind of future they want. So it looks like you could be an attractive force, right? And being attractive is great. But this is more than just being physically attractive, right? This is spiritually attractive, right? So you're attracting in these people, these opportunities. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic with the Page of Wands. It could be a new job offer, opportunity. However, it is showing up with the Pleiadians right behind it. So I do feel that, you know, there's, you know, you're attracting romantic partners as well as attracting opportunities in perhaps work and wealth and those kinds of things. And with the Eight of Pentacles, I do see a big focus on work, kind of like, and this kind of goes back to the starseed energy of just feeling like motivated and driven in that direction. And it's almost like the more that you focus on this energy of like, okay, I just want to work, I just want to manifest some good shit in my life, I just want to, you know, attract abundance and opportunities into my life. It's like then the distractions show up, right? The romantic distractions, the ones that are like, oh well, look at where you're at in life. Now I want to be part of that, and I, you know, and a lot of times it can be just a huge distraction if you have a goal in mind, right? And with the Hanged Man in reverse, I see that you're really in this energy of trying to keep distractions at bay, right? Trying to, like, I see obstacles being removed from your life, you know, things that would distract you from your work, your sense of purpose, your drive, and your ambitions, right? Like meeting your goals. For example, if your goal right now is financial stability, dating around is probably not the best idea because it costs money. Whether you're male, female, whether your expectations are traditional or modern or whatever, it still costs money to date. It still is, you know, something that can be a distraction from your sense of purpose, right? All this time and energy being invested, you know, time is money. And so, you know, you have to really weigh, like, what is a priority to you? Is it having a romantic partner? Is it having financial stability? Is it growing in that way? You know, with the Empress in reverse, I see that you've dealt with some energies before that were very deceitful. Because the Empress in the upright is like all the queens in the upright. The Empress in reverse is like all the queens in reverse, right? We're talking the drama queen here, right? And this is somebody who can be deceitful, mischievous, somebody who doesn't create but takes, right? Somebody whose sole purpose in everything is like what they can get out of people. They don't really have this sense of what they can offer or what they can give, right? And so I feel like you've dealt with enough energies like this, and this is kind of what you're trying to shut out of your life, right? You're trying to shut out the kind of people that would use you, right? Whether they're male or female, whatever. This is just the energy that they're showing up in. But yeah, it's like you've dealt with manipulative people who've used you, or they like the idea of you, they like what they can get out of you, they like what you have to offer, but they really didn't have much to give in return, so there was an imbalance of give and take here, right? Like you were taken advantage of, you were manipulated, manipulated, and this is with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is also somebody who struggles to take care of themselves, right? And this is very codependent energy. This is somebody who is constantly seeking other people to take care of them because they feel incapable of doing it on their own, right? The more that they can get other people to, to run the ship for them, the more they get to sit back and do nothing and, just reap the rewards of everybody else's hard work around them. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. I see that this Wheel of Fortune comes as a result of no longer entertaining these individuals, right? Of no longer allowing these kinds of people into your life. To no longer allow yourself to be distracted or held up. It's like you're able to put on tunnel vision towards, okay, this is the life I want. This is exactly, the dynamics I'm seeking. If you do choose to be in a romantic relationship, it's like you're seeking that balance of give and take where, you don't feel like you're being taken advantage of. You feel that there is mutual respect, love, and care, right, towards this connection. Mutual effort here. And it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. I think that's still important, right, to have mutual respect and effort and care, right? I think that it's important that you feel that, because at the end of it all, like, though you may not be in it for personal gain, though you may not be in it for that, if you feel like you're not properly acknowledged or respected or appreciated, it's hard to maintain that love and care that you had for them, right? It's hard to hold on to that if you feel that somebody's just taking you for a ride, Alright, what is your advice at this time? You have a lot of advice. Your advice, Eight of Swords in reverse. See things for what they are, dog. Don't let that blindfold get you. Don't let those love goggles fool you, right? It's like, look at your situation and see people and things for what they are, right? Rather than what we wish them to be. Rather than looking at the potential of a person or a situation, look at the reality of the person and situation. And then with the Six of Wands in reverse, this is also the energy of like not giving all of your full attention to things that don't deserve it, right? Or things that are not serving you, right? I feel like you're being called to be a little bit selfish with your energy and your time right now. And that's okay, right? I feel that we misuse the term selfish a lot because, you know, like, yeah, it's so humble and it's so good to be selfless. I get that. But there comes a time in our lives where we have to be a little selfish because we can't take care of others until we take care of ourselves. We can't love others properly until we are loving ourselves properly, because that will show up in our relationships if we don't have that for ourselves, right? Um, we have the Hierophant in reverse Taurus energy. And this is also telling you to recognize where there's no growth or expansion in a situation, or whether that's in a job, in a relationship, in friendships, whatever. Which brings me to that, you know, that saying, like, you're the sum of the top 5 friends you have, right? The people you spend the most time with. So, if you were that, really pay attention to who you're hanging out with, right? Really pay attention to the kind of lives that they're living, to their lack mindset or their limited or limiting beliefs. Um, you know, focus on that. Pay attention to who is really around you, because you are them, right? You are just another variation of them. You're in the same kind of situations, you're doing the same kind of stuff. So, if you really want to get ahead in life, rather than seeking people who are down and out to be your friends, it's better to seek people who are successful, who are making a difference in their life, who are growing in the direction you want to grow, right? But if you are noticing that there's just no growth or expansion with certain people, or you notice that they have no desire to grow up or take responsibility, they don't honor their responsibilities, right? And they put their desires ahead of their responsibilities. That's something to really take into consideration here, because how is that ever going to be good for you, right? At the end of the day, if you become one of the things that they feel responsible for, you'll be one of the things that is neglected, right? If you see them constantly neglecting and denying their own responsibilities, right? Like, you know, their bills are going unpaid, but they're going out. Like, you know, neglecting their duties as parents, or neglecting familial duties, those kinds of things. Pay attention to that, you know, because that is important. You know, it is important to see the things for what they are, and to understand that, you know, right now you might be the priority or the highlight of somebody's affections and attentions, but for how long? Until the next shiny toy comes along, you know? So there's this energy of that, like, making sure that the people in your life are energies that you actually feel that you resonate with, right? All right, kitty, scoot your butt. All right, we have 3 pentacles. I do see, like, individuals here that want to work with you, right, to build and grow. And this goes hand in hand with that being very particular about who that is. Because it does look like people want to build and grow with you, right? It looks like they want to help build abundance, because flowers and tarot represent abundance. So this could be in business, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be working with other people. But I see that this is kind of a team effort. With the 8 of Pentacles, I see a strong focus on work, and I see that I do see that things are kind of coming together on the work front, right? It's like, because there's a lot of abundance here. There's a lot of taking care of business. So whether you're in this job or about to be in this job, it does look like, you know, you've got people that work with you well, who have the same kind of vision in mind, who want to help you reach certain goals, that want to help you grow, right? Because the best way to grow your wealth is to help others grow their wealth, right? And so the best way to grow in the right direction is to make sure that your visions are the same. We have Knight of Wands. I see good news coming for you. New opportunity, perhaps a sale going through, or, you know, something that is worth celebrating, right? And this is all tied to work with that Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Something really good is going to come of this, right? I'm seeing a breakthrough on the work front and your finances. You know, something that you can be proud of, something that you want to celebrate. With the Temperance in reverse, Sagittarius in reverse, I do see like you could have been impatient with this, or you're like, how long must I wait for this breakthrough or this better outcome? And a lot of the reason that you're waiting on blessings is because certain things are not being closed out, right? With the World Cosmos in reverse. This is old cycles that you know are dead, right? Or that are not going anywhere, with the Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy, right? Things that are not helping you to progress or move forward. And you're going to get, when you're on the wrong path, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to find yourself financially in a deficit. You're going to find yourself, you know, not making ends meet. Things just aren't working out when you're not on the right path, right? You'll notice once you cut out certain ties, certain friend groups, certain relationships, certain family members, whatever, when you stop entertaining certain energies, all of a sudden you get these financial blessings, these business deals go through, things start coming together, and the things that you felt like you were waiting forever on, that you felt was like testing your patience, it wasn't so much a test of your patience as it was like, these blessings are for you, not for the others that you were trying to bring on with you, right? Like, not for those who have not earned it. It's like if you have, for example, say you're dating somebody who has a lot of bad karma. They did a lot of bad shit to people. They hurt a lot of people. They have a lot of bad karma. As long as you're entertaining them, your blessings are going to be blocked, right? Because those blessings are not going to go to somebody who has built up so much bad karma, right? It's like having bad credit history with the universe, right? And it's like, oh no, we're not going to give you that approval or give you the go-ahead. Well, that is connected to you. So it's like you have to cut out certain things, certain people, certain groups, jobs, whatever. Things that you know are not serving your highest good. Habits that you know aren't serving your highest good. It's like you have to cut out the things that you know are really detrimental to your progress. If you want to progress. So, yeah. Alright, so what happens next? Right? Let's say, hypothetically, you close out those toxic cycles, you close out those things that you know aren't good for you. Then what? Exactly. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse. You let go of baggage, right? You let go of the thing holding you up on your path. You allow certain things to close out. Ace of Cups in reverse. You might be disappointed emotionally. You might feel a little bit emotionally like, what the fuck? This is not the dope new cycle I was hoping for. Da da da. And one thing I've learned about devastation is that sometimes it is really the key to all the best things that will ever happen to you. You know? It's like while you're entertaining things that bring confusion and pain into your life, right? The more you entertain those things. Because really you should have no confusion in any of, at work, with friends, with relationships, with family members. You shouldn't feel the spirit of confusion with them. And if you do, I feel that, you know, that's a big indicator that they're not good for you, right? If you're confused about their level of commitment, or confused about their loyalty, or confused about whatever, their honesty, right? Those kinds of things. And yeah, it could be devastating to lose them. You might feel like, well, I love this person. Yeah, but unconditional love is not the same as unconditional tolerance, right? You can love someone and let them go. But unconditionally tolerating shitty behavior, shitty circumstances, things like that is not going to help you at all. Right? It's just going to set you back. You know that, right? We have the Death card in reverse, Scorpio energy. This is a rebirth, right? This is the final stage of what happens when you let go. You might feel loss and devastation. You might feel like you have to let go of something right as it was, you know, probably right at the beginning, right? Ace of Cups in reverse. It's like before you felt like you even got to really dive into something fully. But it's almost better to let go then than to let go 12 years down the road. Okay, speaking from experience. So yeah, I do see this rebirth energy. I do see this starting over. And this rebirth energy comes with reassessing your own personal identity, right? Like choosing a new you, choosing how you respond to certain things, right? Because I feel like there are things that you told yourself before. I would never tolerate this again. I've healed from this stuff. I would never go through this again. And then there you are, going through it again. Why? You know? It's like the universe is testing you and being like, oh, really? You would never go through it again. What if it was wrapped up in this package, though? What if it looked like this thing, though, right? And it's like, and this is where it tests your vanity, too. So, like, how much are you willing to tolerate for what looks good, right? But it doesn't feel good. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't give you any sense of comfort or security or stability. Therefore, why entertain it, you know? Alright, let's see if there's anything else that you need to hear before I close this out. Two of Pentacles. You're making big decisions, alright? You have big decisions to make. With the Four of Wands, this is in regards to your home, your commitments, contracts. You could be signing, decisions you're making, foundational decisions that you're making. You have big choices here. We have the Muse of Emotions. You see the twins here. They've got water pouring out of their heart chakras. Water in tarot is emotions, love, overwhelming love. Or you could be on a twin flame journey. And it's funny because whatever decision you make, really, because this came out sideways, it came out like this, right? So whatever decision you make with your current situation really determines this, right? Your divine counterpart, right? And where you stand with them, if you stand with them in this lifetime, right? Yeah, because it kind of feels like you're going through a karmic thing, right? You're going through a karmic cycle. Karmic cycles are very magnetic. They're very, like, they draw you in. They feel very intense. One thing I've noticed about humans is y'all can't tell the difference between love and anxiety. You're like, oh, I felt this rush in my stomach. And love is not a feeling. It's actions. It's sacrifice. It's respect. It's honoring a connection, right? But you guys confuse it for the initial infatuation you feel, right? Because that infatuation, that anxiety, the high cortisol in your system, right? The norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, all that just going off in your brain. You're getting high, right? And a lot of people confuse this chemical reaction or this high for being love. And love is actually what happens after that. Love is actually what happens when it's easy to walk away, or when it's easy to discard them and you choose not to, right? And I see that love is, that you feel this deep love, but is that love being reciprocated, right? Or are you dispensable? I don't know, it feels like you've got a lot to weigh, a lot of options to weigh here, right? And it's like you can't know what you want if you don't know what that is, right? And so you have to let go of a lot of what you don't want to figure out what exactly it is that you do want. It reminds me of that movie Fools Rush In, where the dude looks at Salma Hayek and he's like, "You're everything I never knew I always wanted." I feel like I quote that a lot on here, but that's what it feels like. And it's like, you can't know if you don't know it exists, right? If you've never experienced anything like that, right? If you always settled for just variations of the same kind of individual, right? Same demon, different face kind of shit. If you're always chasing the same demon with a different face, how the fuck are you gonna know? If you've never entertained anything that's really different from that. I often say that, like, the person that you end up with is usually, you know, different from what your traditional type is, right? Because if your type worked out, it would have worked out the first time, right? And if you're chasing this type, it's the same demon, different face kind of shit, and you're just chasing the same kind of energy. And it's like, well, have you learned? Are you going to set down that burden, that baggage, that shit that holds you back? Or are you going to allow yourself to fall to the pit with it? Right? It's like trying to swim while holding onto a giant boulder. Okay, just imagine you're trying to swim with this giant fucking boulder, right? And you're like, I'm gonna get to shore, I'm gonna do it, and you're gonna fucking drown if you don't let go of it, right? And that's really metaphorically what's going on here. It's like, there are certain things that are going to drown you if you don't let go. Whether that's a habit, whether that's a relationship, whether that's friendships, whether that's whatever the fuck it is. Something is going to drown you unless you choose to let go. Dharma of Kali. Your most abundant successes manifest when you are aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that do not resonate with your deeper spiritual knowing. Everything that is happening in your life is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established and you are being led into it. Kaladhara. When hope is lost and a way forward cannot be sensed, Kali's love will find a way. If the path does not yet exist, then it shall be created. If you cannot feel, or if you cannot see or feel how you can move from where you are to where you want to be, Kali's wisdom and grace will manifest at the perfect time to provide what is needed. Smashana Kali. Life as you have known it will change radically, and this can be a welcome release. Kali is not quiet and subdued in the cremation grounds. She is wild and vital. Kali brings energy and aliveness to situations where there would otherwise be none. She brings an end to stagnation that has been depleting your life force. Right? So this is, when Kali steps in like that, this is like a call to divine intervention. If you don't let go, you're going to be forced to let go, right? Because Kali is not quiet and subdued in the cremation grounds. And so, oftentimes, in my own situations, there were so many people and things that I refused to let go of. And it was devastating when the divine intervention happened and I had no choice, right? And you lose a lot more than just the one thing. And you have to start over. And yeah, there's a lot of trusting the universe that has to take place in that. So, it's kind of like, if you do it now, it's going to be a lot less detrimental, alright? If you wait it out, well, that's on you. It's your path. It's your journey. If you want to drown with a giant boulder, that's fine, alright? That giant boulder has been sinking you from the day one, and you know it. You feel it. I know because that individual or individuals came to mind the second I started talking about them, right? They came to your mind. You knew exactly who I was talking about when I started talking about them. I don't have to say more than that. You intuitively know who and what it is. And you, despite your own stubbornness, are going to make your own choices, right? But you have more than one what is the word? Soul tie to clear up in this life, right? So it's easier to just get on a horse and just get through it. But anyway, this is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Namaste. I love you all. I'll see you on the next one.